Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. In today's video, I will be talking about closed-door romance books. Closed-door romance books are books where it is implied that the couple has sex, but it is not on page. So that is why it is called closed door. The first closed door romance book that I ever read was Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. We knew that Bella and Edward were going on their honeymoon and it was implied that they would be having sex, but it is not on page at all. It is shown in the movie, but is absolutely not written down in the book. So these are going to be in three categories. The first category is YA. The second category is books that I have read, and then the third category is books that I own that I have not read yet, and I found these books through a Goodreads list that I will put down below. So let's do this. The first three books I have are YA, and then I also have one that I DNF'd earlier this year that I will be talking about as well. But the first one is American Royals by Katharine McGee. This is a story about if George Washington kept a monarch and there was like no presidents. So this follows the Washington family, and it is implied that a couple of couples get together, but it is never shown on screen or on page. You basically read like the next morning when they wake up in bed together and stuff like that. I really like this series. I think this is a really good idea. I have not read Katharine McGee's other series. I think I recently unhauled it, but I really like this one and this concept, and there are definitely mentions of like them getting together, but you don't read about it at all. The next two are by the same author, and these are part of a series, but these are specifically the last book in the series. So I'll go with her first one, and this is We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. I believe there might be a scene in the second one where it is implied that they might have gotten together. I have read this series at least 3 times, and I just truly cannot remember. I know that it's like winter and they're at the house together, but I don't think they got together. However, it is implied in the third one that people get together and it's not who you think it might be. So Jenny Han does this. This is her first like solo series, and it is implied that people get together in this series, specifically in the last book. It happens the same for Always and Forever Lara Jean. I think it's Lara. Maybe it's Lara. Who knows? By Jenny Han, and this is the same scenario. There is one scene in this one where they are like in bed together thinking about doing it, but it never manifests. But towards the end of the book, it is implied that they do get together at some point, but you never actually read about it. It is just left to your imagination. And then the last YA book are 2 YA books. One that I DNF'd, and that is The Summer of Broken Rules. I DNF'd this one recently for a TikTok video that I will put above. I actually never made it to the part where it is implied that the couple gets together, but according to my research, this is a closed-door YA romance, so that's good to know. I got to the part where the couple is thinking of getting together. So yeah. And then the last book that I don't own but have heard really good things about is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This has been recommended to me by so many people, and I don't own it and I don't know anything about it, but apparently it is YA and there is a sequel coming out this year of it. So this is another one where it is implied that the main couple gets together. That's all I know. The next books are books that I own and have read and are closed door. I don't have a lot. I do have more that I haven't read yet, so let's go. This is If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. Julie Murphy is mostly a YA author, but this is her adult debut, and this is a Disney imprint, so I don't know if that is why they are closed door, but this actually made my best book, like best romance books of the year, and I absolutely love this one. This follows Cindy, who gets on a Bachelor type show and falls for the Bachelor, and she's plus size, and it is implied that they hook up. I think that the next scene is that they wake up in bed together and she has to like get back to her room before anyone finds out that she was with the bachelor. So I absolutely love this one. This was such an easy 5-star. Like, this was just such a good book, and this just proves to me that like I don't necessarily always need smut in my books for it to be a 5-star. Okay, the next book is just some from the list that I own and haven't read yet, so I will read the back of the book and let you know what it is about. And I will also once again put that Goodreads list down below that has all of the books that are considered closed door. A lot of these are available on KU, but they all have the same like cartoony covers. So it's interesting because not all cartoon covers are closed door, but it just proves that a lot still are. So let's go over the ones that I have that I haven't read yet. The first one is the second in the series of If the Shoe Fits, and this is by the book by Jasmine Guillory. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling told in like publishing. Let me read you the first little thing. Isabel is completely lost. When she first began her career in publishing after college, she did not expect to be 25, still living at home, and one of the few Black employees at her publishing house. Overworked and underpaid, constantly torn between speaking up or stifling herself, Izzy thinks there must be more to this publishing life. So when she overhears her boss complaining about a beastly high-profile author who has failed to deliver his long-awaited manuscript, Isabel sees an opportunity to prove her worth and finally get the recognition she deserves. I'm so excited for this one. I've read a lot of Jasmine Guillory recently, and her books are usually pretty spicy, so I will be interested to see what she can do with closed door. Another author that I know is closed door, all of her books are closed door, is Catherine Center. I recently read The Bodyguard by her last year, and I ended up giving it 3 stars, and that is mostly because of the writing. The writing reminded me so much of Gilmore Girls, and I cannot stand the dialogue in Gilmore Girls personally, so that's why I didn't like it. But this follows a bodyguard who is a woman protecting an actor from a stalker, and I loved that it was so feminist, and then the bodyguard was a woman like protecting a man. I just thought that this was an excellent concept, and then they start fake dating, and then it is implied that they get together, and I just absolutely love that it was closed door. I believe that all of Catherine Center's books are considered closed door if you're looking for that, if for an author specifically who does closed door. The next one is also by Lynn Painter, but this is adult, and this is Mr. Wrong Number. So bad luck has always followed Olivia Marshall, or maybe she's just the screw up her family believes she is. But when a "what are you wearing" text from a random number turns into the hottest, most entertaining, albeit anonymous, relationship of her life, she thinks things might be on the upswing. This sounds cute. I got this specifically for the cover, and that is a theme with a lot of my book shopping. I really am a cover buyer, especially when it comes to romance. Like I said, I don't necessarily need spicy scenes in my romance, so I'm glad to know that this one isn't. I have another one of Lynn Painter's, and I believe it's her next YA, so I would be interested to know if that is another closed door. The next one on my list is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I have not read anything from Alexis Hall. I have one of his books set aside for the Alphabet Project, but I'm not at that letter yet. So Luke O'Donnell is reluctantly famous. His rockstar parents split when he was young, and the father he's never met spent the next 20 years cruising in and out of rehab. Now that his dad's making a comeback, Luke's back in the public eye, and compromising photo is enough to ruin everything. This obviously gives me red, white, and royal blue vibes, but I have not read this, so but all I know that is closed door. The next 2 are by the same author. I have not read either of these, but I keep buying these books because of the cover. I know. This first one is 10 Rules for Faking It, and this is by Sophie Sullivan. As birthdays go, this year's for radio producer Everly Dean hits an all-time low. Worse than the birthday when she had a tonsillectomy. Worse than the one in which her lovably reckless parents decide to split up for the first time, catching her boyfriend cheating on you. Cliches sting, but no matter this, Everly Dean's year. This year her anxiety doesn't hold her back. This sounds cute, and I love that this is another closed door. And then I have her other one, which is How to Love Your Neighbor. I got this for the cover, we know this. Interior design school, check. Cute house to fix up, also check. Grumpy, sexy neighbor who is going to get in the way of all your plans. Check, unfortunately. Grumpy sunshine? I'm all about this. The next one is Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. I got this specifically because it is about books, and I like reading books about books. It's like one of the things that brings me joy, so yeah. Savannah Cade's dreams are coming true. The Claire Donovan, editor-in-chief of the most successful romance imprint in the country, has requested to see the manuscript Savannah's been secretly writing while working as an editor herself. Except at her publishing house, the philosophy is only highbrow works are worth printing, and commercial fiction, particularly romance, should be reserved for the lowest level of Dante's Inferno. Ooh, this sounds good. These are all being moved up on my TBR because it's about to be February. Romance, like I switch into my romance reading now until like the end of summer, so we'll see. The next one is Shipped by Angie Hockman. Rye from Rye's Reading Corner has been telling me to read this for years. It is in with the Alphabet Project. I picked it out specifically from that pile. Between classes for her MBA and her job as a cruise line marketing manager, Henley Evans barely has time for herself. But when she's shortlisted for her dream promotion, all her sacrifices finally seem worth it. The only problem, Graham Crawford Collins, the off-site social media manager and the bane of her existence. Enemies to lovers. And then the last one that I own is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is a special edition. I don't know why. I know that this is or was available on KU for a very long time, but I saw it at Barnes & Noble and picked it up. I also believe that Rye and Brianna from Four Paws in a Book did not love this as much as they thought they would, but I am still hopeful about it. It's so short. The friend zone is not the end zone for Bree Camden, who is helplessly in love with her longtime best friend and extremely hot NFL legend Nathan Donaldson. The only problem is that she can't admit her true feelings because he clearly sees her as a best friend and no romantic potential, and the last thing Bree wants is to ruin the relationship. But those abs. Friends to lovers for that one. So yeah, these are all of the closed door romances that I have read or that I own. I'm sure there is a ton more I will be getting in the future. Like I said, the Goodreads list is down in the description if there is something you are specifically looking for. Closed door romance, I absolutely love. It really does just really depend on the characters and their chemistry without having any of the sex on page, which sometimes I'm not really looking for. Sometimes I just want a freaking romance without any of the other stuff. So these are some closed door romance options for you for Valentine's Day, for whenever you need it. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye!
Losing time, I'm fading fast.